I got to give Nick credit here. My staff dug this up this morning. In the 4 games against winning teams, playoff teams this morning, Dak has 5 touchdowns, 6 picks, 82 passer rating, and 61% completion percentage. So I have struggled with Dak because we call him on the staff, he's the trust fund quarterback. He inherited a great O-line, great weapons, Zeke. So this morning, where are you on Dak, Nick, after that New England game where he was off and the offense, loaded with weapons, couldn't do anything?
I'm not going to kill him for the New England game because that is, even if aside from Gilmore, it doesn't have all-time personnel, that is an all-time pass defense that has made everyone except for Lamar look bad, and Lamar did most of his damage with his legs, and Dak, up until the New England game, was having the best year of his career. But my squeamishness with Dak has less to do with this season, his play, and more to do with the play of 2 of his classmates draft-wise. Carson Wentz had an MVP-level season in 2017.
Yeah.
They paid him. They paid him earlier than they had to. And he has been awful this year, and his team is not any good. Jared Goff didn't have an MVP-level 2018, but he had a very, very good 2018. They paid him. They paid him earlier than they had to. He is the 32nd ranked passer in the league this year, and that team has no path forward. Dak Prescott this year matches up to Wentz in 17, Goff in 18. Unless you believe he can be this every year, then once you pay him, you are only going to be able to compete at a high level when he is this. This is the problem with paying anyone that isn't Russell or Rodgers, who I know you're low on, or Mahomes when he does get paid. You can still compete for Super Bowls the years they're really good. Kirk Cousins is playing great this year. They will compete. Matt Ryan, the year he won the MVP, they made it to the Super Bowl. But the moment your quarterback play drops off even just a bit, Cousins last year, Matt Ryan the last couple years, your team has no path forward. That's the bucket I would put Dak in. Cousins, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton when he was healthy, very good but flawed. When you pay those guys, you really don't have as many paths to victory as you would like.
Now, Tom Brady in that game, I thought in terms of throwing the football, and Tom's always been a very good lousy weather thrower of the football. He is. One of the best games I've ever seen him play was in a snowstorm in Chicago about 4 years ago, and they blew out the Bears. He had 6 drops. He didn't have his number 2 and number 3 receiver. The running game this year has been very spotty. I thought Tom actually played very well. The numbers don't indicate it, but the numbers don't tell you how great Russell Wilson is. And a lot of Sundays he wins, and you're like, blah. You are not on the. You think Brady's a shot fighter. I don't see it. You do. Why?
All right, real quick, I apologize. I don't mean to do this during the segment, but I got to let me pick up all those excuses you just dropped on the ground. All right, I got them. There we go. You mentioned Russell Wilson doesn't look great. Well, he looks good enough to have a top 3 passer rating in the NFL this year. Brady's outside the top 20. Russell Wilson looks good enough to have 24 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Meanwhile, Tom Brady in the last month has led 3 extended field touchdown drives. Listen, this is the GOAT quotient that you get when you're the greatest to ever do it. Even your failures are celebrated. I heard you say it right there. And our good friend Troy Aikman said it on the broadcast. Tom Brady gets applauded for incomplete passes. That's what makes him great, knowing when to throw the ball away. The great presence. And things that otherwise for other quarterbacks are called, oh, he threw that late and behind him because it scrapes off his fingertips. Those are called drops for one Thomas Edward Brady III, who I know is your adopted son. With that said, I'm not out on the Pats because I have seen this movie before. In 2013, Peyton Manning was the league MVP. They went to the Super Bowl and lost. In 2014, he was very good but not as good. In 2015, he was a shot fighter, and they won the Super Bowl thanks to a defense. In 2017, Tom Brady was a league MVP. They went to the Super Bowl and lost. In 2018, he was good but not as good. In 2019, he's a shot fighter, But by the way, he's not what Peyton was in 15. Peyton in 15 was awful.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's not awful right now. He's just below average. But the defense is sensational, and where I will give him credit is this. He understands how good the defense is, and he does not make the killer mistake.
Yes.
He does not give the ball to the other team. He is a great game manager at this moment, but everyone is waiting for Tom Brady to activate the GOAT juice and all of a sudden everyone says to me, would you want to see him down 4, 2 minutes left? Wouldn't you be afraid? And I say, well, last year he was down 4 with 2 minutes left in the AFC Championship game and threw a pick to lose the game. Now they got bailed out and then he ends up driving the field. He's not even that good anymore. So no, I'm not worried about Brady, but Belichick and that defense and home field advantage might be able to drag Brady across the finish line.
You know, I talked about Aaron Rodgers. The previous 3 weeks, I saw Kyler Murray, who's way better than anybody thinks, but nobody watches Arizona football games. I do because I like a social life on Sunday. And Russell Wilson. So I've seen Kyler twice and Russell in the last 3 weeks give San Francisco's defensive line problems, and I think Lamar will do the same this weekend. Aaron Rodgers off a bye was done in 8 minutes. Well, the offensive line. Russell Wilson has the second worst offensive line pass blocking in the league. I know Aaron's talented, but Mike McCarthy was the root of all problems. Matt LaFleur, wait until Thanksgiving. I'm at Thanksgiving, Nick, and Aaron is just in a league full of dynamic, fascinating, gifted, talented young guys. He doesn't pop for me anymore. He's really talented. I'm over that part. I want more wins on the road. Isn't that at least fair?
Listen, I think that Aaron might have missed his window to win his next Super Bowl. Now, I still think the Packers can make it to the Super Bowl this year, but they have to avoid the Niners. That matchup's not changing.
Yeah.
They're going to need someone to beat up their bully for them. So they're going to need the bracket to fall to where the Niners have to play San Francisco or Seattle again, or is someone that can beat them, because what we're seeing on tape right there, that would repeat itself. And your critique of Aaron, I think, is fair to a degree. In this matchup, he did not do well. He was not as escapable as Kyler. He didn't do as good of a job taking care of the football as Russell Wilson, even though Russell threw the one bad pick in overtime against the Niners. I still believe that Aaron Rodgers has one last, I don't want to say gasp, but one last great run in him. But much like where Carmelo Anthony, and I'm not comparing Aaron to Carmelo, but follow me here, that LeBron has tricked us on what you're supposed to look like in year 17. Like, D-Wade is out, Bosch is out, CP3's on his way out in year 15, Dwight's on his way out in year 16. Melo's looking at his buddy LeBron and saying, why can't that be me? Breeze and Brady might have tricked us into thinking, oh, these quarterbacks into late 30s are going to continue to be sensational. Well, Big Ben's elbow popped. Eli Manning's been benched. Phillip Rivers does not look good to me. Aaron Rodgers, that next group right after those guys. So I don't know if Brady and Breeze might have, the LeBron ageless gene while everyone else ages on a mere mortal rate. I worry that Aaron's one of those guys. And if that's the case, that puts even more importance on this season. And one last note, if I may, and this is to your point. You can take this from me after this. Let's just pretend you came up with it. Since Rodgers has been the quarterback of the Packers,
yes,
the Niners have gone through nearly a dozen coaches, GMs, quarterbacks, right?
Right.
In that stretch, the Green Bay Packers have 3 first-round buys. The Niners, 3 first-round buys. The Green Bay Packers, 2 first-round buys and 2 first-round buys. The Green Bay Packers have been to 3 NFC Championship games. The Niners, 3 NFC Championship game appearances. They both went to 1 Super Bowl. Obviously, Aaron won and Cap didn't. I say that to say this. If you say he's underachieved in a decade there, when the Niners have the same postseason resume with all their coaches, all their quarterbacks, all their front office, offices, it's hard to argue against it.
Yeah. I'm out of time. It was a pleasure to see you. Thanksgiving with the fam, I imagine, in New York for you. You're going to get cold weather. You're doing very well. We're very happy for you here, even though you don't. Thank you. You know, these segments become a piñata for you. But you know what? That's what you do to friends. You allow friends to feel that they want an argument. That's what we do to friends. And I will be, as some FS1 employees, I will be tirelessly working on Thanksgiving before I spend time with my family. You, I assume, will be skiing. So I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm not bitter at all. Enjoy it. I'll be up at 3:30 in the morning tomorrow and Friday talking about the football, but you enjoy the day, Colin. Nick Wright, first things first. Thanks, buddy. Love talking to you, as always. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.